All right, recording in progress. We're going to get going. All right, so last week we had two tasks to be completed. Begin working on your VIP list, and the second task was to start setting up your daily topics for social media. You did not have to work any of the daily systems yet, anything like that. Just start setting up your daily task and start working on your VIP list. I can't see everybody, but just by voice or by hand, either one, who all did their task? Candy or Kathy, yes. Brad,
Yeah.
yeah. Aubrey,
I did.
Candy's under the weather as well, and no camera, so I will get with Candy independently. So no doing videos of a listing this time, so everybody's safe from punishment. This week's punishment, Kathy's going to be our team lead. I'm going to let her go ahead and throw her punishments out, and we're going to, by the end of the meeting, I'll give you your tasks for the day, but she's going to go ahead and put your punishments out there for next week.
Okay, so
Hey, there.
pardon me.
Now Candy's on
There
tour.
she is.
I am. Oh, hey, wave, Bronze. I'm gonna see you.
Punishments this week. And
Punishment is a bad word too. It's not really a
I
punishment.
know, I don't like that word. Consequences. Same.
Consequence. Yes.
Okay. I think for myself, I don't necessarily want to get on that link that Sean sent about role playing with the people across the country. So I think that's a really good one. I think it would be good and helpful, but putting myself out there, I really don't want to do something like that. So there it is. I think that's it. So I will work hard to avoid that.
All right. All right. So that's your punishment. All right. Let's talk about face-to-face.
Consequence, not punishment.
That's right. Adjustments, not even consequences.
Okay.
Adjustments. So let's talk about face-to-face meetings. Before the meeting this morning, while I was working out, I had sent 3 forms to Brad and Candy to distribute to their agents, and I will distribute it to my agents. Actually, but most of my agents will have them. Robert may not. But I've got an all about you form, and then I've got some very old WOW checklist that are probably 5 or 6 years old. That's the ones that were on my phone. I have much more up-to-date WOW checklist that if anybody wants to get a more up-to-date WOW checklist, I will get those to you. Just let me know if you'd like up-to-date ones. And so the idea of the WOW checklist is exactly what it sounds like. It's a WOW checklist. It's how to wow your client. And I gave you a WOW seller and a WOW buyer. And then I'll get to the all about you form in just a moment. But the WOW checklist, you're basically going to just follow the checklist down the end. And if you hit all those marks, you should have a pretty happy customer to try to earn some referrals at the end. So let's start with face-to-face meetings, and I will give the gallery the choice to whether we start with buyers or sellers. What does everybody want to do first?
Sellers.
That's 1 vote for sellers.
Sellers.
What was yours, Ron?
Sellers.
2 votes for sellers.
Well, there you go.
All right, Kathy just said no more. We're just going to do sellers. All right. So here's the very first thing to do when you're talking about a seller face-to-face meeting. Most likely, where is that face-to-face meeting going to occur?
At their house.
At the house, right? All right, so you're going to get a call, you're going to get a walk-in, you're going to get a buddy calling you. Somebody's going to call you and say, hey, I want to list my house, or I know somebody wants to sell their house. Something's going to be a communicable thing to tell you that's going to prompt you to set this face-to-face meeting up. So your first step is, okay, I've got 123 Main Street. I'm going to go ahead and send a pre-listing packet to 123 Main Street right now. Like as soon as you hang up the phone with that customer or that referral or whatever, you're going to get a pre-listing packet sent to that house immediately, whether you have to go deliver it, whether you send somebody else in your office to deliver it, you send a courier, you send an Uber driver, however you need to do it, you need to get that pre-listing packet to the front door of that house or to the mailbox of that house within the day of you getting the phone call. Whether your listing appointment may be a day, 2 days, 3 days down the road, your pre-listing packet is at the door the day you get the phone call. And what we're doing is, if you're using those Moxie listing presentations, basically you're going to put your Moxie listing presentation together, and you're going to take all of the pages having to do with comparables out of that presentation. Send everything else as the pre-listing presentation. Anybody have any questions about that so far? Okay. So you do your Moxie listing presentation. You take the comparables out of it. You put it in a manila envelope. You put it in every office should have Century 21 folders still in place. Yes or no, Brad and Candy?
Yes.
Yes. Put it in a Century 21 folder. Send somebody out there to deliver it. You've got those Century 21 folders in place, everything but comparables. Do not ever, 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 ever give somebody comparables of their house over the phone without looking at the house or without doing anything like that. Why do you not want to give comparables to a house you've never seen before?
You can't do the condition of the house.
Can't do the condition of the house. You have no idea what it looks like.
Right.
You have no idea where the client is, the customer is either. What happens if you drop a number on that customer that's $100,000 less than their number is? Do you think you have any chance of getting in the door to get that listing?
Nope.
No.
No. Kathy, you went on a listing appointment with me last week.
Yes,
I was $100,000 under that guy, was I not?
yes, you were.
Yeah. And I'm still getting that listing, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. At my number, not his number.
Oh, he had a come to Jesus thinking party, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But if I would have told him my number on the phone, which he kept pushing me for, I'm not getting out to that house. So you send your pre-listing presentation out. You go ahead and set your listing face-to-face meeting up. You look at that WOW checklist you have in front of you. Like I said, those are 5-year-old WOW checklists. They're just ones I had on my phone. They're not up-to-date ones. If you want an up-to-date one, let me know. Now we're just going to follow this script. We're going to go to the house. The way I handle it is I take a manila folder with me. Candy has seen me do this. Brad's seen me do it too. I take a manila folder with me and I walk the house inside and out. And I start writing down condition of everything in the house on the manila folder. On my Moxie presentation, I have pictures of all the comparables in my Moxie presentation for the comps. So while I'm walking that house with that customer and making notes, I'm going through an acronym called LP Mama. We're going to talk about LP Mama on the listing side and the buyer side, but LP Mama stands for location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, and ask for the close. And so basically with a listing price, you don't necessarily need the location. The location is the house right there. You're going to come up with that price that's in your comparable notes. And then motivation. What is that person's motivation for selling? And it's not always maximizing profit. Everybody always thinks that somebody always just wants the top dollar and that's just what they want to do. Some people's motivation is, I've got to get in a school district for my kids. My next door neighbor is a psychopath and I just need to move away from my next door neighbor. I want to get closer to the hospital because I've got a medical condition. Whatever that motivation is to sell that house, you may just have somebody. I had a house that I just closed on last week. The guy wouldn't even let me put it on the MLS. His motivation was he didn't want people looking inside of his house because it was a train wreck. So my job was to sell the house without advertising it, without putting it on the MLS, with a sign in the yard and the sign in the yard only. That's the only way I could sell the house. So that guy's motivation was, I don't care if I sell it for less than market. I have a number in mind. As long as I hit my net number, I'm out. If you're fine, you get paid, and I want you to get both sides of the commission. I just don't need it advertised. So that was his motivation. So as you're going through location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, ask, your next part of your motivation is, are you rebuying? Are you renting? Are you relocating? If you're relocating, can I set you up with another Century 21 agent in the area you're going to? That way you can get the backside referral. The big difference is working with a local company, working with an international company is we have agents everywhere. So when we were T-Rock Properties or when y'all were Coffee County Realty, when you had a referral you had to find for somewhere else, you had to literally figure out what agent to send it to you in that area. Now it's easy. You just look up a Century 21 office and you go find the best agent in that office and you send them a referral, or call the relocation director and send them a referral. So you need to know their motivation for selling and why they're selling. So you're going through this face-to-face. In the face-to-face also, you're walking through the pitfalls and the hoorays of the transaction. You're letting them know everything that could go wrong or right in that transaction. This is an emotional transaction. You're going to have people walking through your house. They may traipse mud through your house. They may eat your cookies. They may go through your underwear drawer. Who knows? There's going to be people in your home. We're going to talk about that. Most people are respectful of personal items, but they are going to open up your closet. Hope to God they don't open up your underwear drawer or go through your personal stuff, but they are going to look at the house. So what do we need to do to market this house? Hey, I know your house is your house and you really want to take, you're really proud of it. There's going to be people that say bad things about your house. So don't worry about if somebody says bad things about your house. It's not a personal comment about you. It's your house. You fixed it up for yourself. You may have remodeled it for yourself. You may think you keep a great house. Everybody has a different opinion. So when you're looking at your cameras, trying to figure out what everybody's saying about your house, don't take offense. Just listen to their criticism and let's read between the lines and go through it. Most agents nowadays don't leave feedback. It's a terrible, some agents just even say it's unprofessional to leave feedback. Of all these people that we have in this meeting right now, one, do you leave feedback when you go show another person a house? And do you appreciate feedback on your own listings?
Always and yes.
Yeah. As long as the opinion's like 3 stars and you don't know what they're actually 3-starring you for. I mean, you want honest feedback. If the house is a wreck, tell me it's a wreck. That way I can go back to my seller. So you're going to walk them through all the pitfalls and hoorays. You are not going to talk about commissions until it needs to be brought up. You got me? There's no need. You're going to talk about your marketing. You're going to talk about what you do differently. You're going to talk about everything you do as an agent without bringing up commission splits. If they bring up commission splits, what do you do?
Tell them 6.
What's that?
Tell them 6.
Keep talking. Don't even just divert. Keep diverting until you have your value proposition done.
When do you bring up commission or address it after it's been brought up?
All right. Good question. All right. What do you do? So every agent out of 10 agents, 90% of agents do all the same thing, right? Is that right? The 90-10 rule, right, Brad?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you can accurately give your 10% difference, that's when you drop the commission. This is what other agents are going to do. This is what I do. This is what I can guarantee. This is where we're going to be. I now am going to charge you 6% or 7% or 5%, whatever that number is that you're happy with, that your broker's happy with. That's when you drop it. So they're going to say, well, so-and-so down the street does it for 3, or that list for less person is going to put it on the MLS for $500. Why am I going to pay you 6 or 7, 5%? If I can pay that guy $500, then you can start handling objections. Remember, the two most important things as far as a realtor is concerned are handling the objection and asking for the close. So you've got to be able to handle that objection about why should I pay you more than that other person. The next obvious question is going to be when commission gets brought up now is the news told me I didn't have to pay a buyer's agent anymore. So you got to be ready for that question. And the immediate response is 85% of buyers can't afford to pay their agent. They can't even afford to pay their down payment and closing cost. Do you want to take out 85% of the buyers that have the possibility of buying your house right off the bat by not paying a buyer's agent?
So what are we doing different than the other agents? Because I feel like we are kind of all doing it the same.
Oh,
What are we doing different?
What do you do different?
Well, now I have the marketing tools through Century 21 to step it up, but I mean, basically, I don't do it different. I do it pretty much the same as everybody else.
All right. So therein lies what we're talking about now. We're going to give you the tools to take you the next step. Last week, we talked about the daily task. Don, I've talked to you about daily tasks before.
Mhm.
The one thing that you can 100% do differently than everybody else, and you can guarantee it, is we're going to communicate every Tuesday, no matter what the update is. Even if there is no update, you will hear from me every Tuesday, no matter what. Because the number one complaint towards agents is agents don't communicate. So we are going to communicate with you, whether we have good news, bad news, or indifferent news. You're going to hear from us every Tuesday at minimum to tell you what's going on with your house. If you are accurately using Golden Ruler, and I will sit down with anyone or everyone and show them how to accurately use Golden Ruler, Golden Ruler will tell you what you're doing differently as far as marketing goes. I've got a townhome that I know for a fact is not sellable. It's overpriced, but my townhome is getting seen on the internet 6 times the amount of a comparable townhome in Murfreesboro on the internet. So is my marketing working? Yes. Is it going to sell because the price is too high? No, but I'm getting it out there and it's reaching everybody it needs to reach. So I can statistically go with my marketing and tell somebody my marketing is going to do X. Nobody else can guarantee that. On top of my Golden Ruler stuff, I do the Moxie promote ads on Google and Facebook every single listing. Well, statistically, I can look back at every single listing, and in that first 14 days of my listings being live, my listing's going to be seen on Google and social media 10,000 times. Look, does that sell the house? No. But if you tell somebody that your house is going to be seen on Google and social media 10,000 times in the first 2 weeks that it's listed, and you have a backup that you can actually statistically mark that as, is that doing something different than somebody else?
Yes.
So you are lining up what you do differently. The other thing I can personally do is every single one of my houses is shot professionally. Every single one of my houses has a reflective sign. And every single one of my houses has an LED solar light on a sign that shines the light on the sign at dark on the reflective sign, and my shines back at your car like a stop sign. So you don't have to worry about my sign being lost in the dark. My sign shining back like a stop sign at every single person that drives by. I'm the only person in Murfreesboro, Tennessee with lit signs, and nobody else has made that investment. So my sign will stand out in your yard better than anybody else's, that somebody down the street will be able to see my yard sign in your house at dark when they're visiting their friends, now that the time is going to change in 2 weeks. I can guarantee that it's something I do differently. You guys, I believe y'all are the only ones with reflective signs in Coffee County. You don't have the LED lights, but you do have reflective signs. So that is a value proposition you can give to your people, that when a light shines on that sign, even at dark, when it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock, your yard sign is not going to be hid. It will be shined back like a stop sign at people as they drive. That is a value proposition that you do differently than somebody else. So you actually do things differently than other people. You just don't realize you're doing things differently than other people. You just have to be able to vocalize it. By vocalization, it will give you the ability to win listings just by telling people the stuff that you do that you didn't realize that you did. Is that a good answer?
Yes.
So communication's number one. You can guarantee communication because you're going to call them every Tuesday when you're on floor time. The reflective signs. I mean, that's a killer because you guys are the only ones in Coffee County to do them. Maybe we put some LED lights on some of the Coffee County signs just to, hey, maybe it's a handful. We have LED lit reflective signs, and we just do a handful of signs per office that have LED lights on them. But the Moxie promote stuff, when you tell somebody literally you're hitting 10,000 people the first 2 weeks on social media and Google, that will land you listings, just that one thing, because 10,000 views, yes, it's internet impressions, but 10,000 views on an internet impression is impressive as far as a listing client is concerned. So when you start laying down those value propositions, you can start laying down why you're worth 6 or 7%, because you're showing that you're going to do things that other people don't do. All 3 offices are part of List Globally, which means that our homes are being listed worldwide on the MLS, not just on RealTracs and Realtor.com and Zillow. Our houses are being shown in all across the world on the MLS. So I've got that same stupid townhome that I told you was overpriced and unsellable. All of my golden ruler views are in Norway, Netherlands, and Holland. Every single one of them. It's been seen like 2,000 times, and they're all in Europe. Who knows why that is? But these are value propositions that you can hit. When you talk about golden ruler and you can tell somebody, hey, if I notice that somebody's hitting your house 2, 3, 4 times a week in Chicago, I will start running a Facebook targeted ad in Chicago for your house, because I know for a fact people in Chicago are hitting houses in our area. So by running a targeted ad in Chicago for your house for Facebook, I'm going to hit people that are statistically looking at your area from another area. Another thing you can say for your value proposition is, I work for Century 21. We are on 6 of the 7 continents. We have 151,000 agents worldwide. We are in all 50 states and 91 countries. We have agents that are looking for in this area all over the country, and we're going to get your listing in front of those people. That's a big difference when you're talking about a value proposition. So you lay out what you do. Now you've laid out that 10% difference. So yeah, everybody puts the house on the MLS. It's the first thing they do. Everybody runs comps. Some people are better at them than other people, but the marketing makes the difference, and the confidence makes the difference. And I love what Kathy said, and I did not prompt her to do that, to do what she did. I love what she said about the role playing, whether you're role playing on that Century 21 thing or not, but role playing within your office, practice that value proposition, role play with yourself in front of the mirror where it doesn't seem like it's not second nature. My value proposition can roll off my tongue. You don't have to question what my value proposition is. I know it, and it can come off my tongue without questioning. If your value proposition seems like second nature to you, you'll come across as more confident. You'll land more listings just off your value proposition at all. So as you get back to the kitchen table, I'm going to do the Donald Trump weave, and now I've weaved back to the kitchen table. As you get back to the kitchen table after walking this house, and now you've laid out the comparables on the table, and you've got all the pictures of the comparable houses, you've got your notes, and you can start breaking down how their house compares to the other houses and how you've come up with the listing price you've come to. Usually that works for, and we're going to get to, in another lesson, we'll get to knowers, feelers, and thinkers, and we'll talk about how to hit knowers, feelers, and thinkers differently. But now we're going to walk through facts, and we're going to walk through emotion, and we're going to walk through how it gets to come to the price we need to get it to. We're going to lay out our marketing plan by face now. We're going to go through those objections. We're going to ask for the close to get the listing agreement. And if they say no, we're going to say, they're going to say, hey, no, we're still interviewing with other people. We're going to hit them back with something. What are we hitting them back with?
What do you intend to hear from the other agent that you haven't heard from me?
Boom. You're going to hit them. Good job, Don. Way to go. Come on, Brad. So we're going to hit them with that. That's going to put them back on their feet a little bit, because most agents, when they're in that situation, they're going to kind of drop their head and go, okay, well, let me know if I can do anything for you. Call me back when you need more help, and just kind of droopily walk out of the house. How many people have done that? Yeah, we've all done it. But when you put them back on their feet a little bit, now you're the aggressor, and they're going, well, it's not that we hadn't heard anything from you that we haven't already heard. We just want to see what everybody else has got to offer. Okay. When is your last appointment? They're going to tell you, well, my last appointment's Tuesday at 3:00. Can I call you at 4:00 to follow up with you to see how that last appointment went with you? Look, I'm not going to take no for an answer, and I'm going to hit you with something else that you got to have some kahunas to pull, but I'm not afraid to do it. I don't have the listing yet. What's it going to hurt if I'm going to hit them? So we're going to leave this listing appointment. Hopefully I've wowed them to the point that they've either signed my listing agreement, they got my listing agreement in hand. I'm leaving them, and I should be the most prepared. My pre-listing presentation should have already had my listing done. As you do real satisfied surveys, you can add that other kind of closing or kind of hit in the face kind of handle objection thing. Hey, you can go on the internet, you can look at my name, you can look at all my reviews, you can see my 5-star reviews, and those will start helping you. Kathy, you've went on multiple listing appointments. Do I say that every single time I go to a listing appointment?
Yes, sir.
Every single time. I hit those people hard.
Mm.
I've got over 150 reviews online. They are all 5 stars. I hit them with it every single time because that is another value proposition that those 90% of other agents can't necessarily say. They may have a couple reviews online, but I've got 150 plus online and they're all 5 stars. And you can look at multiple places and see who I am. So I'm going to leave this listing appointment now, and I'm in my car. I haven't even left the driveway yet. I'm making the honor call. Hit it, Brad.
Thanks for letting me in your house today. I look forward to being your agent. Yada, yada.
Brad's honor call's not as strong as mine, but I'll give you partial credit. You get a B. My honor call. Thank you for choosing me as your agent. I will have a sign up on Monday. Let me know when I can pick up my signed listing agreement.
Do you leave the listing agreement with them?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
We're all using the same listing agreement, right? They're all tar forms. What's going to be in my listing agreement that's not in anybody else's listing agreement? Nothing. We're all using the same form. So I'm leaving my listing agreement and I'm calling them and saying, I'll have a sign up in your yard on Monday. Let me know when I can pick my signed listing agreement up. What is the worst that's going to happen by doing that?
They're gonna say no.
They're going to say no. You don't have the listing yet, right?
Right.
So if you're not going to be a little bit out of the way, and hey, if nothing else comes out of this, guess what? They will not forget that. Right?
Right.
Part of being a good salesperson is doing stuff that others won't forget. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Be different, be extraordinary, be over the top. So when you do stuff that's extraordinary, that leads people over the top, they remember it. It sets in their mind. Now, when you really start breaking down knowers, feelers, and thinkers, especially to a female, you may not want to do that.
Why is that?
Some female, especially if you're a big guy like me, or Don, you're a big guy, Brad, you're a big guy. What would that come across from a big guy to a female?
Intimidating.
Intimidating. So you got to know your role. Now you're on the phone. You're not directly in front of them. I wouldn't pull that face to face. On the phone, it's a little different. It's not as intimidating on the phone. So just kind of read the room. You got to have some confidence just to ask for it anyway. So you just know when you need to pull it. I always do it. I don't have the listing yet. It's not going to hurt me. Let's roll. So here's some other things you can do. Some other tricks. I'm going to do 3 minutes to finish the seller thing. We're going to do 25 minutes on a buyer. Here's another trick that I especially use on FSBOs, but it works on people that you're trying to get listing agreements from also. My agents, y'all have heard this before. I call on a FSBO or I leave a listing appointment. I immediately call that person back and I say, maybe an hour later, or FSBO, I can do it just on the phone. Hey, I've got somebody who wants to look at your house. When can I get in there to show it to them? You don't have it listed, but it shows you're already working for them. I'm going to call Robert over here. I'm going to go, hey, Robert, I'm going to go walk you through a house. Ride with me. And I'm going to put Robert up as a straw buyer, and we're going to walk through that house. And we're going to come up with some kind of excuse why Robert doesn't like it. And we're going to tell him, well, we'll get back to you. Come back with some feedback. Well, Robert didn't like it, but I got Candy over here. Candy wants to look at your house too. Can I ride over there and show it to Candy? But every time I go over there with another straw buyer, I'm going to give them a piece of value proposition. Hey, here's some comparables. Hey, here's a contract. You realize that if you do one thing wrong in this contract, and if an and's not in there and a comma's in there, or the word is in there, it could cost you thousands of dollars. Are you prepared to cost yourself thousands of dollars by writing a contract that you've never written before, or you don't have experience writing? Is that something you want to do? When you kind of see that doubt in their face, give me a 30-day listing. Give me a 60-day listing. Drop it on them that, hey, I am working for you. I've already showed your house twice. I don't even have it listed. I, in good faith, have been showing your house without it listed. Let me have a real opportunity to see what I can do.
Before you take somebody over there, do you ask them if they're willing to work with a buyer's agent
Sure.
commission?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you're doing something, you're showing them you're working for the house. I'm not doing anything. I'm taking another agent in my office, or I'm taking Brad's got a best friend that he takes to all of his and just buys the guy lunch in exchange for looking at fake houses.
What do you hit them for on that side? Like Candy brought up, are you hitting them for a buyer's agent commission? Are you hitting them at 6, 7, 5? Or are you cutting that in half?
You're talking about just on a buyer? If I'm saying, hey,
Just doing what you're doing, taking a straw agent over there. Or what if what if you did, what if you did actually take a buyer over there? What do you tell them as far as commission?
so there's a form on TAR forms called agreement to show, and you can
Yeah.
write in there, just write in what you want to say. Hey, if I sell this house, I expect that much in commission.
But
I mean,
what are you saying 6 or are you cutting that to 3?
But if I'm just on the buyer side, I'm just saying 3, but I'm making it very, very clear. At 3%, I am doing jack squat for you. You are on your own. The advantage of paying me 6 is I'm going to represent you, give you advice, schedule stuff for your side, all the stuff you would do for a seller.
Mhm.
But when you ask for that listing, I'm no longer asking for 3, I'm asking for 7.
Okay.
But you're proving to them that you're working for that house. It works amazingly on FSBOs. Brad used to think I was an idiot, and he landed his first FSBO doing it and sold it in like the second day. Isn't that right, Brad?
Yes, and I still think that. Yeah, I've converted, I think 3. I hadn't tried in a while, but I've done 3 over the years.
Yeah, just playing that stupid game.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. So it's kind of just it's a shadow game, but it works. All right. So that's kind of I forgot the most important part. The All About You form. You got everybody should have an All About You form in front of them, except for Robert, who's right here beside me. Does everybody see the All About You form?
Sorry, Aubrey. I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you.
Aubrey, we'll get you one sent via email. All right. So when I sit down at the kitchen table, before I even go through comparables, I may even hand this to them when we first walk in the door. I hand them this form and say, hey, do you mind filling this out for me? And if you look at the top section, it's got the names of the customer / clients. It's got their birthdays. It's got their anniversary day. It's got their kids' birthdays. The second section is kind of dreamy type stuff. What's your dream vacation? What's your favorite soda? What's your favorite non-alcoholic drink? What's your favorite snack food? And then the bottom section kind of sets up a VIP section. Do you have a CPA? Do you have a financial planner? Do you have an attorney? Do you have this? Do you have a house cleaner? Yada, yada, yada. All right, so let's go down through this thing section for section, because this kind of goes on both sides, buyer and seller. The first section, why do I want their birthdays, anniversary, and kids' birthdays?
So that you can hit them again at
Multiple
those times.
Multiple times a year. So if I got a husband and wife, that means I got 3 more dates per year I can hit those people. Guys, you got to understand this. This is a real NAR statistic, and it is insane that this is a statistic. 70% of people do not know who their realtor was 2 years prior of any real estate transaction. 70% of people don't remember who sold their house or who sold them the house 24 months after they did the real estate transaction. They couldn't name who their realtor was. That is a real NAR statistic. So with this form right here, for a family of 4, I'm giving you 5 extra touches for that family of 4 over those 2 years. So that's 10 times you should reach out to those people in the next 2 years. There is absolutely zero flipping way that you're one of those 70%, correct?
Right.
All right. So next section down. Favorite non-alcoholic beverage, favorite snack food. I'm old school. When I'm representing a buyer, they are in my car. Why are they in my car?
So that you can talk to them from house to house and hear what they have to say.
Yes, but with a caveat. You hit it on the end right there. I don't necessarily want to talk to them. I want them talking to each other. And when they're talking to each other, I want to listen to what they're saying. They're going to tell each other the truth in front of me, even if I'm not in an active conversation with them. If they're in their own car talking, guess what I can't hear?
The response to the prior house.
Their response to their prior house. So by listening to what they're saying when I'm showing them houses, it helps me be able to find them a house and not waste time showing them 58,000 houses when that's not really what they want. I'm listening to what they're saying at every house. I'm listening to what they're saying between houses. And when they got in my car, I handed them each their favorite non-alcoholic beverage and their same favorite snack food to eat while we're going to look at houses. Don, you asked about what the difference of what our 10% difference was. How many other agents are handing somebody their favorite beverage and their favorite snack food while they're going through a real estate transaction?
Just you, Sean.
Just me. So I'm setting myself apart. Again, 150 plus 5-star reviews because of stuff like this right here.
Mhm.
You're setting yourself apart from other agents doing that extra 10%. Let's say their favorite vacation is they want to go to Hawaii, they want to go to Spain, they want to go do something like that. Well, maybe my closing gift, when I hand them a closing gift, has something to do with their favorite vacation. Maybe if they want to go to Hawaii, it's got a lei on it, or maybe I bring them a coconut or a chocolate covered macadamia nut or something like that. Hey, I just wanted to give you a little taste of Hawaii right here.
I started to say, if you're giving away a trip to Hawaii, can I buy a house from you, Sean?
Right.
Well, maybe you buy them a resort certificate as a closing gift and say, here's a resort certificate to get you a hotel in Hawaii.
There you go.
But does it have to do the timeshare thing if we give them that resort certificate?
You never have to take a tour ever.
Okay, okay,
You have to sign up through that thing, but you never have to take a timeshare tour ever.
okay.
But maybe that's it. Hey, I got you this resort certificate, your favorite trip's Hawaii. There are multiple locations in Hawaii that this resort certificate works for. Go take your resort certificate there. Speaking of closing gifts, when do you give a closing gift to a client?
At closing.
Never.
Well, he needs wrong answers too.
When do you give a closing gift to a client?
I don't know.
A week after closing, you go to their house to do a follow-up.
Oh, that's right. That's. So you get more face-to-face time with
Get
it.
more face-to-face time. How's your moving going? How's the new house? You getting settled in? How are the kids liking the neighborhood kids? You get another touch. If you get, hey, here's 95% of agents. It's closing. I hand the closing gift off. Guess what they never do after that?
Think about it.
They never think about that client again. They got their check. They've handed the closing coughed off. What was the name of that guy that just bought that house? No idea.
But I did open up a can of worms, and this has happened so many times that I've stopped whenever I talk to them down the line saying, oh, how's the house? Because I've had so many people go, oh, well, after we moved in, this happened, that happened, the neighbor's a jerk, da, 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 da. It was all negative out of
Well-
several different clients.
Well, here you go. Is part of that face-to-face meeting up front. We're moving into the buyer time now, so we'll go ahead and say this. As part of your face-to-face meeting with a buyer specifically, part of that face-to-face meeting is, hey, you're going to get a home inspection. The home inspection is not going to find everything wrong with the house. So as you first move in, there's going to be stuff that pops up that the home inspection missed. It's just part of living in a house. You're going to have some bumps and bruises right here at first. Hey, which light switches work for what? And that maybe that light you find out doesn't work or something. So you kind of lay that out in the face-to-face meeting. That way, when you do that week after week follow-up or that 1 month follow-up or something like that, they don't beat you up over, well, all this stuff's wrong. You've kind of laid it out up front saying there's going to be stuff that you're going to, when you move in, they're going to find stuff. And even with a new construction house, there's stuff that's going to pop up after you move in. So you kind of work that into that face-to-face.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's something, if you really want to go over the top, if you want to be the best buyer's agent on the planet, at your final walkthrough, bring a mop bucket, a mop, a broom, roll of toilet paper, a paper towel, a roll of paper towels, some Windex, some kitchen cleaner, maybe some Comet, and put it all in a bucket and have that as a pre-closing gift. Hey, I know for a fact you're going to be packing and all your cleaning supplies are going to be tossed between two houses. How about you just take all this and just as soon as we close tomorrow or 2 days from now, just take all of this to the new house. That way you don't have to worry about cleaning supplies at both houses.
Mhm.
Look, no other agent's doing that. That is a value proposition that you're going to give your clients. All right, so now we're talking about a face-to-face with a buyer. We've worked the seller. Before we move, do we have any questions about the seller side?
No,
All right, buyer side. Buyer calls into your office. Ring, ring, ring. Don Burt, I would like to talk to you about buying a house. Fantastic. Can you come in, give them 2 times in 2 on 2 days? So you're going to give them a day and time on 1 day, a day and time on 2 days. Why do you not want an open-ended answer or a 1 time 1 to 8 answer? They will.
You don't want to be desperate.
You sound desperate. But also, if you give them 2 choices, it is unrealistic for them not to be able to work one of the 2 choices into their calendar. If you give them 1 choice that's in the middle of the day and 1 choice about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, realistically, nobody's schedule conflicts with 2 opposite choices. So they don't have a feel a way that they can weasel out of that 1 choice thing. They're going to pick one of the 2. In the same time, you're going to tell that this is pre-meeting. You're just still on the phone with them. I'm going to go ahead and have a lender call you to get you pre-approved. No matter if they get you pre-approved or not, I still want to have the face-to-face meeting with you. Can I have XXX lender call you? And that way we can discuss your lending options when you come in for the face-to-face meeting as well. You don't really want to ask a yes or no question. You kind of want to lead them into why that's an important thing. Just kind of ask the question going, it is very important that we know how you're going to buy the house, to know what you're going to afford. That way you don't set bad expectations to the negative or the positive. We want to make sure that when we're showing you houses, we can show you houses that you can afford. That way you're looking at the houses that you realistically can buy. I'm going to have whatever lender call you. See, I didn't ask. I told them I was going to have a lender call them. Any questions with that? No. All right. So we're going to have the face-to-face meeting whether our lender told them they were approved or not. Why are we having the face-to-face meeting even if their lender said no?
to discuss where they're going from there.
We're going to discuss where they're going from there, and we also want them in our pipeline to work for a future deal. Remember, real estate, with my program especially, real estate's like this. You have ebbs and flows. Well, if you're working my program, we're trying to make those ebbs and flows flat, where you're consistent. Well, if you know for a fact this person can't close or buy a house for 6 to 12 months, but they can in 6 to 12 months, well, we're going to get them face to face. We want action points. If I can get them, I've already got an action point of them talking to a lender. Now I've got an action point of them meeting me face to face. In my face-to-face meeting, we're going to set up the action points to get them to where they can buy based off what the lender said. Now I can start banking closings in the future. So as of right now, I don't have a closing in March. So now this March closing's on the books. So I know for a fact I've got a closing that I can sell somebody in March. The next customer may be February. The next customer may be in April. So now I'm starting to stack deals like I'm farming. I'm planting the seeds, and then I get to harvest that seed in 6 months. And when we talked about last week, the Wednesday calls, well, those cold leads, those 6 to 12 month leads, I'm going to be hitting them once a month, trying to get them from cold to warm to hot or cold to hot. I can't do that if I can't get face to face to do it. So I'm going to set them up in the program where I can hit action points. If they're hitting action points, guess what they're motivated to do?
Buy a house.
They're good at, they're motivated to buy a house. If they're not doing any of the action points, guess what they're not going to do?
Buy a house.
Buy a house. Guess what's going to happen if they're willing to hit the buyer's points and you don't ever talk to them again?
Use a different agent.
Use a different agent. So what do most agents, and I do not know the statistical number, but I'm guilty of it just as much as anybody. What do most agents do when their lender tells you that they can't buy for 6 to 12 months? What's that? What do most agents do automatically?
They're moved on.
Moved on. I'm never going to talk to that person again. They're not buying a house. And they moved on. Only to find out 6 or 7 months later, guess what? That person bought a house. So we want them in the system. We're having a face-to-face meeting to talk about their future, to set the thing up. Now, hey, secrets don't make friends.
We were planning on getting you a Christmas gift, but.
Yeah, no. All right. So on a face-to-face meeting with a buyer, we're going to set up the ebbs and flows of a buyer transaction. We're going to look at houses. You're going to find houses you don't like. The most important thing to tell a buyer is this. How many people have heard a complaint, whether you read it on Facebook, you've heard a customer say it or whatever, is I don't know what my realtor did to find me houses. I found my house on Zillow. Anybody heard that?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the best way to combat that in the face-to-face meeting. You are not my only client. I'm out showing clients houses. I'm out listing houses. I'm out doing everything. Every single time you're on your phone while you're at work or in the toilet or at home on the dinner table looking at houses, you are looking at houses 24 hours a day for yourself. I am looking at houses twice a day, about 6 a.m. and about 5 o'clock p.m. Yes, I am looking for you, but I'm not looking 24 hours a day. You are looking 24 hours a day. Statistically happening, you probably will find the house first before I see it. But my system is going to email you every single house that hits the market. So you don't have to worry about going to realtor.com and Zillow and Movado and century21.com and every other website that has houses. My email will send you houses as soon as they hit the market. So just pay attention to my emails, and you can take notes that will be sent to me that will tell you what you like and dislike. That way I know what you're looking for. If you're using Moxie Engage to set your listing appointments, listing houses drops up, when they get sent an email with a house on it, they can actually hit like or dislike and make notes about what they like and dislike about that house. So when they send you a list, they can actually send you notes and ideas about the houses you send them. I'm going through LP Mama with the buyer as well. Now, LP Mama, again, you do not want to ask yes or no questions. You want to be like an attorney ripping somebody apart on the witness stand. You want to lead those questions down the next path. Look, the number one thing I see on agents with the work buyers that exhaust agents is, I've showed this client 50 houses already and they haven't bought a house. Whose fault is that?
Agent.
It's the agent's fault. You either aren't finding what they're asking you to find, or you're not listening to what they want. That's the only two answers. The other caveat is they're not serious to buy. So if they're not serious to buy, you've got to weed that out sooner. And that's where action points come in again. My rule of thumb, use it, don't use it. I don't care. It works for me. I average 2.8 houses per buyer. I'm only showing an average of 2.8 houses to every one of my buyers. That's it. Because I'm going through LP Mama and asking those lead-in questions, I know exactly what my people want before they leave the room. Now, do they caveat and jump around? Sure, everybody does. But I know a pretty good idea about what they want. The other thing I tell them in the face-to-face meeting, husband and wife, I need 2 must-haves from both of you. Husband, yours is probably a nice garage and a nice backyard. Wife, nice kitchen, nice master bathroom. Whatever those 2 things are, I need 2 must-haves from both of you. If I get all 4 of those must-haves, are you going to buy that house? If you've only got 4 must-haves to hit, are you going to be able to hit that?
You should, if they're in the right price range.
Because you're going to look at the MLS and try to make sure you're sending them houses that have what? Those 4 must-haves, right?
Mhm.
Look, I had a client that had 150 must-haves. Guess what I was never going to be able to do?
Satisfy that client.
Satisfy that client. But if I've got 2 from the husband and 2 from the wife and I hit all 4 of those, guess what I can do?
Sell them a house.
Sell them a house. And I can sell them a house quick because I'm going to hit their must-haves fast. We're going to talk about the ebbs and flows of a buyer transaction. Hey, a buyer transaction is really, really, really emotional. I lost out on a multiple offer situation. I couldn't negotiate the house that was overpriced down to my price point. I did a home inspection and it's got 85,000 things on the home inspection that aren't really that big of a deal, but now the home inspector scared the crap out of me about buying this house. So now I don't know if I want to buy the house or not. Now I'm not getting everything I wanted on the home inspection negotiated out. Do I still need to buy this house? The appraisal came in shorter. I'm waiting on the appraisal to happen. Am I still going to be able to buy this house? Whatever the emotions of the financing situation through, think about all the emotions of a transaction that a buyer goes through from the start to the finish of the process. You're walking them through all of those things, but then you're giving them the thing. My job is to lower your stress through the transaction. There are going to be some things that are happening in the background that you're never going to know about. I'm going to tell you about the things that I need you to do. The lender is going to tell you to do things. Sometimes the lender is going to ask for the same sheet of paper 5 times. Don't worry. It's okay. The lender's doing what they're having to do because the underwriter's asking for it. So when they ask, don't get frazzled. This is just part of the transaction. This is going to be an emotional thing. I'm here to talk to you. I'm like your counselor, your friend, and your priest all in one. So when you have a problem, you call me. We're going to talk through it. You're going to hear from me every Tuesday, whether you need an update or not. And you're going to hear me throughout the rest of the week when we need updates. But we're going to work through this together, and we're going to go through the ebbs and flows of this transactions. And at the end of the transaction, I hope you have friends that will also send me deals. On both sides, the buyer and the seller side, I set this up in an opportunity to ask for referrals. By the end of this transaction, can I count on you to give me 2 names of people who may want to buy or sell some real estate? Very soft ask. On those Tuesday update calls, guess what I get to ask for?
2 referrals.
Have you had an opportunity to think about the 2 people you're going to send to me? At the final walkthrough, not the closing table, at the final walkthrough, can I have those 2 names of the people? If I've done you a good job, can I have those 2 names of the people you want to send to me? In a referral-based system, you should be able to count on 7 to 13 transactions that lead from the original transaction. Some of those are going to be re-transactions by the same client, whether they're buying and selling again. Some of them are going to be their best friends. Some of them are going to be because they got divorced and now they're doing 2 transactions. Whatever it is, you should be able to count on 7 to 13 deals for every transaction, but it's going to take you following up with the people, you staying top of mind, and you being there for them. Look, I want to be the person that, and Brad and Kathy used to tell me I was nuts. If they need a mechanic in Murfreesboro, I want them to call me to ask me for who the mechanic is they need to use. If they need a painter, I want them to call me. If they want to know where to go get a bite to eat for what style of food they want to go, I don't want them going to Google. I want them calling me. I want me to be the go-to for everything in this town because I want as many touches as possible for that person forever. When they see a post online about I need a realtor or who's the best realtor, it's their second nature to hit that button and tag my name. That's what I want set up. I want to be their realtor for life. And I'm not kidding. I want to be their realtor forever because I don't have to worry about that person cheating on me and going to use a different agent or that person not handing my name out. I want my 5-star customer service to be so good that the only time they think about realtor, they see Sean right beside that R. That's what I'm trying to set up here. By doing these face-to-faces and setting up the ebbs and flows, walking them through the transaction, and I put them on the spot about showings. I'm going to show you 4 houses a day, 4 times, 16 houses, 2 hours at a time. At the end of 16 houses, if you haven't bought a house, I'm going to fire myself because I have not provided service to you. I say that to every client. I'm averaging 2.8. Obviously, I'm not showing them 16. But I set that as an expectation. I walked them through the path. That face-to-face meeting, whether they're ready to buy now or ready to buy in the future, is setting that person up in my system where I'm going to communicate with them. I'm going to have them back in my system and back in the fold, and I'm going to be talking to them once a week, where when they hear realtor, I don't have to worry about them cheating on me. At the face-to-face meeting, whether being a buyer or a seller, I'm asking for the close to sign that buyer's rep agreement or selling rep agreement at the table. That way, look, everybody's been worried about, oh, when do we have a buyer's representation sign a form, or when do we do this? Guys, it's been the law in Tennessee since 1996 that stupid form's been signed. Have we all had it signed? No. Are there people out there right now not having it signed? Yes. But it makes it good practice. If you're sitting there face to face and you've just walked them through all the hurdles and everything a buyer's agent's going to do for them, guess what? They're not going to have a problem signing at the end of that face to face.
There's agreement.
Buyer's agreement. You just sold yourself. You've gave them the value proposition. You've told them what you're going to do. Boom, signed, sealed, delivered, done. And now you're set up. You have your person in the system for Wednesday calls. Got them through the ebbs and flows. You've done LP Mama with both the buyers and the sellers to know what their motivation is, to know if they have another agent, to know if they're pre-approved, to know what their location they want to look at, to know what their price they want to look at, to know if they're moving out of state, to know if they have an agent going out of state, to know if they need to hook them up with an agent. That way you can keep hold of them. So all of this moves together and you want to keep that person for life. Look, I've got clients that I used LP Mama on that they moved to Virginia, and every time they move, they call me about finding them an agent somewhere else. I've now got referral fees from them in Virginia, Florida, and Texas because I kept them in my system and I follow up with them. Look, if you're an agent and you know for a fact that client moved to Virginia, how many agents are reaching out to that person on a twice a year basis?
Not many.
Not many. And I just gave you, if they have a family of 4, I gave you 5 more dates on there too to touch base with them. So now I've got 2 for alphabets. I've got 5 for birthdays, anniversary, and kids' birthdays. Now you're touching that person 7 times in a year. I just told you that 70% of people don't remember who their agent was 24 months prior. And now in 24 months, you've hit that person 14 times at minimum. Do you think that makes a difference? Robert says yes, that makes a difference.
We were nodding.
Kathy was on my screen, not you. Sorry.
Well,
So-
you need to fix that.
Yeah.
To take it to another level before I ask for questions, I haven't talked to you all about Preferred Client Club from Century 21 in a while, but here's where Preferred Client Club can take this to another level. Preferred Client Club is a thing that once you have a certified closing in Dash, the agent can come in and pay for after closing. And for 7 years, you can pay for $58 for 7 years. They'll get, I think it's 13 touches. It's like a postcard, a calendar, a magazine, whatever. You can go on Preferred Client Club on 21 online and it'll lay out what that touch rate is. But I think it's 13 touches for 7 years for $58. So now you've got 13 extra touches on top of those 14 per year. So that's 26 plus 14. That's 40 touches in the first 2 years. How about that?
Yeah, that's good.
So any questions about face-to-faces? We're at 10:30. I went a minute over, so I apologize about that. But any questions?
I have one question.
Yes.
If you were just knocking on the door on the FSBO for the first time, do you recommend going ahead and pulling up some comps even before you do that?
I'm walking up to the door with comps. I'm going to leave them with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you got your price at? Well, this is what I think the price is. I'm going to leave these with you just so you can study them. Every time I talk to that FSBO, I'm leaving some kind of value add just to show, hey, I'm working for you. Like I said, I'm going to leave them a contract at one point. I'm going to say, are you aware of the liability you're going to cause if you don't know how to fill this contract up? I've seen transactions where the word "and" costs somebody thousands of dollars. Are you willing to make that bet on something that you've never done before? There's no.
So if you're taking like Robert to go look at a house, are you making him sign a buyer's agreement? Do we not have to have one if it's that? What are we gonna do with that?
They can't, it's none of their business whether I have a buyer's agreement, right?
Right, but like, I think I heard like MTAR, or Realtrax can come back and ask us randomly for.
Have your straw buyer sign a non-exclusive buyer's rep. Takes care
Hey,
of.
real quick, since this kind of pertains to that, Matt in one of our meetings had talked about the listing agent wanting him to send his buyer's rep agreement to them?
Absolutely not.
They don't have to do that.
They don't have to do that.
Wasn't.
I would immediately just be a smart aleck and ask for their listing agreement while we're at it.
Yeah.
Be a smart aleck and what?
Ask them for their copy of their listing agreement.
Okay.
I mean, I can't ask for your agency agreement just like you can't ask for my agency agreement.
Okay.
Any questions about face-to-face meetings? If there are none, next week will be about time blocking, and it will be a very high 24,000 foot view of high time blocking. The next couple weeks will be about time blocking. Next week we'll talk about green time. So there's several different phases to time blocking: green time, admin time, fire time, and office time. So we're going to talk about green time next week. Green time is the most important thing. What's green time mean?
Money.
Money. So that's the way you make money. That's the way you get money coming in, or that's the way you can start working on getting money. So we're going to hit green time first. So here's the task of the week. I need everybody to just look, you're not providing this stuff for me. This is just stuff you need to have in your head. How many hours a week do you want to work yourself? It could be 20, it could be 40, it could be 5, it could be 85, whatever it is. What is your time frame that you want to work on real estate on a given basis? Come up with that idea. Take my WOW checklist that I've sent to you, and I can send there's Excel. All three brokers have Excel versions of this. They can email you. Take the WOW checklist that I have provided you and make them your own. Oh, and one of the WOW checklist, like I said, this is about a 5-year-old at WOW checklist. One of them says buy a gift card or JD. Does anybody know what JD is?
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Fist bump.
Yeah, fist bump. So that was just, hey, buy them a gift. So Jack Daniels or a gift card. So take those WOW checklists, make them your own. Come up with how many hours of work you want to work per week, because when we start talking about time blocking, we are going to put together the time blocking based off how many hours you want to work. So my optimal time blocking is 40 to 45 hours a week. So my schedule is based off 40 to 45 hours a week. Depending on if you want to work 20 hours, 60 hours, 40 hours, or what, we're going to adjust those time blocks based off of those numbers. So you got to know how many hours you want to work to know how you're going to adjust the time blocks. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. If there are no other questions, I'm going to log off. If you have any questions and you just didn't want to raise them in a public place, feel free to reach out to Candy, Brad, or myself, and we will get you answers. And next week we'll work on time blocking. Y'all have a great day.
Have a
And
good day, everybody.
we do have.
21.
What's that?
I said, good meeting.
Yeah.
Century 21.
Good meeting.
I'm butt kissing now, Candy. See?
We know.
I am recording these meetings also, so anybody that would like a link to the meeting, I can send the link out.
Thank you.
Thank you. See y'all.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.